What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Sensionics, ticker symbol SENS. I've got a very interesting update for you guys in this video. At the time that you guys are watching this video, Sensionics has a massive game-changing make or break event, and that is going to be their earnings report that is going to be coming out after hours. So we're going to go over exactly what my expectations are for this event and where we could see the stock move after they release these numbers. We're also going to go over a massive catalyst that Sensionics has announced. It's going to be another medical conference that they are going to be participating in, which should serve as a very substantial catalyst and could move the stock going forward. We're going to go over the patent that Sensionics received and the timeframes for which I am expecting the 180-day eversense to be approved in the United States, and the time frame that I am expecting the 365-day eversense to be approved. So before we get into all of that information, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. And while we're at it, make sure you guys go down and comment what price you got into Sensionics at. So taking a look at the chart of Sensionics, we can see that it had a massive sell-off over the past 2 weeks. Now, we've gone over the reasons for these sell-offs in my previous video, so I'm not going to harp on them, but if you were able to get into Sensionics around the time that we first started covering this stock on this channel, you are still up a very significant amount in your Sensionics position. So if you like this company long-term, these dips are great buying opportunities, but we are going to have to see what happens with earnings after hours. Now, nothing I say in these videos is financial advice. These are for educational purposes only, but Sensionics looks very attractive on this dip, in my opinion. So let's briefly cover the catalyst that Sensionics announced, the event that they are going to be participating in. So coming over here, Sensionics to participate in the H.C. Wainwright Global Life Sciences Conference. So Sensionics, a medical technology company focused on the development and commercialization of long-term implantable continuous glucose monitoring systems for people with diabetes, today announced plans to participate in the upcoming H.C. Wainwright Global Life Sciences Conference. Management is scheduled to participate and hold one-on-one meetings Tuesday, March 9th, 2021. So essentially what's going to happen is there's going to be these one-on-one meetings. They're going to get asked questions, and it is always possible that when an event like this occurs, that we do see some news articles and news bits come out about Sensionics that definitely can move the share price. So this is definitely an event next Tuesday that you should keep an eye on if you hold long-term shares in Sensionics. So now let's briefly cover the patent that Sensionics has just received before we get into exactly what you need to be looking out for when Sensionics reports its earnings after hours. So coming over here, we can see that the patent that Sensionics has received is titled Integrated optical filter system with low sensitivity to high angle of incidence light for an analyte sensor. So coming over to this patent summary over here, the present invention overcomes the disadvantages of prior systems by providing, among other advantages, a low angle sensitive optical filter to reduce the transmission of light having high angles of incidence to the photodetector. That is, the LAS optical filter may have a transmission efficiency that is dependent on angle of incidence, such that the transmission efficiency of the LAS optical filter decreases as the angle of incidence increases. So essentially what Sensionics is trying to do for this patent is enable their systems to become more efficient. This is going to help them in getting the 365-day eversense out into the market sooner, in my opinion. So let's actually get into what we need to look for in Sensionics earnings report. So the two most important things that are going to be what grabs people's attention are going to be the EPS and the revenue numbers. So coming over here, we can see that the consensus estimate for Sensionics EPS numbers is going to be negative 11 cents. Now, in my opinion, I think it's highly possible that they miss this EPS number. Now, the reason for that is because the eversense model is an electric elective surgery. So it has to be surgically implanted into the patient in order for it to be effective. So it goes inside your body, and then you can track your glucose levels on a phone app. Now, since the pandemic was occurring and the elective surgeries were significantly decreased, we are not going to see as many of these continuous glucose monitoring systems implanted, in my opinion, into patients. Now, we have also seen that Ascensia Diabetes Care has already started the distribution and sales of these eversense models, specifically the 180-day eversense model in Europe. Now, prior to 2021, there was actually a different company that was in charge of the distribution of the eversense models. So these numbers are going to be kind of inaccurate for Sensionics going forward. So I think it's entirely possible that Sensionics does come out and miss the EPS and revenue numbers, but since we are long-term investors in Sensionics, we need to focus on the forward-looking statements from the company. So some of the things that we need to keep a lookout for what exactly the CEO is going to say during the conference call for their forward-looking statements is, one, we definitely need to hear them mention the 365-day continuous glucose monitoring eversense. That is not up for debate. We need to see them mention that in some form and when they expect to get this out in the market. Now, secondarily, we do need to see them talk about when they're expecting to get FDA approval. In my opinion, we could see it as early as the summer and as late as the fall. The FDA has been backed up a lot with the new devices that they're trying to approve to help out with the pandemic, and the Sensionics eversense 180-day model is not high up on their priority list at the current time. Now, the third thing that we are going to need to look out for, it kind of ties into the fourth point. So we need to get an insight into the sales numbers that Ascensia has been providing for Sensionics. So we're going to need to see exactly what Ascensia's plans are to get the continuous glucose monitoring systems out into the market. Now, I've read some of your comments, and the Sensionics eversense systems are not covered by insurance yet. That is something else we definitely need to hear about in our earnings report. So all of the things that I'm mentioning right now are what we call guidance. So these are the forward-looking statements that the company issues to try to forecast exactly what is going to happen with the company in the future. The final thing that I would like to hear from Sensionics is the market expectation. So what I mean by this is, what is the growth of the market for continuous glucose monitoring systems going to be over the next couple of years? And what is the size of the market that they are projecting? We're also going to need to see what they expect their total market share to be, so we can kind of project their revenue and valuation going forward. That is the most important thing to investors like us. We need to be able to figure out a fair valuation for the company so we can give our price target. So I'm hoping that Sensionics can reach the $10 price point by the end of 2021 if they can continue on the current trajectory that they are on. Now, this looked very likely earlier in February when Sensionics was ripping up almost every single day, but all of these bull markets do come to an end at some time or another, and sell-offs like we are seeing right now and corrections are healthy for the overall market. We do not want to see all of the names that we are talking about run up 1,000% in a really short amount of time. It's just not healthy for these companies to do that. So again, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say in these videos is financial advice, but this dip on Sensionics is a great opportunity for long-term investors to initiate positions in Sensionics and to add to their current positions. So that is going to be it for this update on the Sensionics. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So make sure you guys comment down below your thoughts on what Sensionics is going to do after its earnings report. So I hope you guys are having a very profitable day or are able to mitigate some of your losses in these really harsh market conditions, and I will see you guys in the next video.